Dog Man review. The film opens in OK City.
Officer Knight and his trusty dog Greg, both voiced by Peter Hastings, are going through the city to chase down Pete Davidson, an evil super genius cat who frequently terrorizes the city. After a crazy car chase, Knight and Greg end up on the roof of a building, where Pete throws them a bomb, which was built along with his put-upon assistant butler, Poppy Lou. Knight tries to defuse the bomb, but he and Greg fail to stop it in time and are caught in the explosion. The two are brought to the hospital, where Greg's whole body is injured, and Knight's head is bandaged up. In order to save them both, the doctors decide to put Greg's head on Knight's body, which Knight gives a thumbs up for.
Thus, they create a new hero, Dog Man.
Dog Man becomes a beloved super cop that helps citizens all across the city, and Pete declares him his arch-rival. Dog Man's heroics are reported by Sarah Hadoff, Isla Fisher, but the chief, Lil Rel Howery, is upset that Dog Man gets all the credit for saving the city while his work goes unnoticed. The chief also loudly states that he is secretly in love with Sarah. Meanwhile, Dog Man is left alone since Knight's house gets sold, and Dog Man must stay in his own little doghouse. The chief orders Dog Man to go after Pete, even if it takes a montage. So we see a montage of Dog Man thwarting many of Pete's evil schemes, sending him to cat jail repeatedly, only for Pete to keep breaking out. This puts the chief in hot water with the mayor, Sherry O'Terry, who is not happy that Pete continues to escape and wants Dog Man and the chief off the case. The chief protests that it's not fair, and the mayor gives him the number to an office where some guy just tells him life's not fair. In an attempt to take down Dog Man, Pete decides he needs another version of him to help with his evil schemes, especially since Butler quit on Pete since he will not pay her with actual money. He uses chocolate coins, puka shells, or bottle caps. Pete orders a cloning machine to make another copy of himself to help defeat his nemesis. The chief informs Dog Man that the nearby science center hopes to perform an experiment on a dead fish named Flippy, Ricky Gervais, who previously came to life and went evil after developing telekinesis. Despite being tasked with monitoring the security cameras to watch out for Pete, the criminal cat manages to steal Flippy from where he is contained before Dog Man can catch him. Dog Man pursues Pete using a drone from Sarah's cameraman Seamus, Billy Boyd, but he fails to catch Pete before he escapes. Pete then programs Flippy to help him destroy all do-gooders. Pete's cloning machine arrives, but instead of creating an actual clone, it makes a tiny kitty version of himself that he names Lil Pete, Lucas Hopkins Calderon. Although Pete brings Lil Pete on his evil schemes, the kitty is kind-hearted and views Pete as his papa.
This annoys Dog Man, and Lil Pete become close friends.
Pete later finds a storybook that Lil Pete made depicting them as father and son. This causes him to feel remorse for abandoning him, and he becomes even more upset when he sees Dog Man and Lil Pete together. Pete builds a robot, the ADHD, to help him get Lil Pete back.
Dog Man is despaired and even goes to Sarah for help in finding Lil Pete.
After failing to find him, Sarah does her best to cheer Dog Man up. Back at Pete's lab, Lil Pete uses ADHD to find Pete's father, Grandpa, Stephen Root. He is a jerk and the source of Pete's evil ways. Lil Pete tries to help his dad reconcile with his own dad, but Grandpa has no interest in changing or being better. Pete sees this and decides to continue his pursuit of defeating Dog Man. Flippy ends up in the living spray factory, where the gas inside causes him to come back to life. The gas spreads throughout the factory and makes it come to life as a giant monster with the goal of destroying all do-gooders like Pete programmed him to. While this happens, Pete attacks the city with a giant robot that shoots exploding squirrels. Dog Man springs into action to go after Pete, while the chief and Sarah publicly admit their love for each other. Dog Man and Pete engage in a battle, but Lil Pete gets caught in the middle of things. When it seems as though Dog Man is about to arrest Pete again, he stops after realizing Lil Pete is Pete's clone/son. They then see Flippy in the giant building coming their way, and Flippy identifies Lil Pete as a super do-gooder and kidnaps him. Dog Man and Pete set their differences aside and form a brief alliance in order to save Lil Pete. In the fight, the living spray factory falls and spreads its gas to the other buildings in the city to make them evil as well. Lil Pete ends up getting free and uses ADHD to fight back. Realizing that Flippy is going to go after Lil Pete, Pete hops inside the robot so that he will be taken instead. Flippy brings Pete to a volcano to prepare to drop him in before realizing that he is not a do-gooder. Dog Man and Lil Petey arrive, where Lil Petey uses his goodness to appeal to Flippy and be the friend that he never had. With this, Flippy's evil powers wear off, and all the buildings go back to normal. Petey almost falls into the volcano, but Dog Man uses his beloved tennis ball to fire from Petey's robot cannon and help him fall away from the volcano. Flippy surrenders and lets himself get taken in, but the mayor pardons Petey for his crimes since he is now a do-gooder that saved the city. Petey denies that he is good, saying that he is evil and selfish, but now he is doing things for Lil Petey instead of just himself. Petey and Lil Petey return home to find Grandpa driving away with all of Petey's inventions, leaving them with nothing. Lil Petey begins to share his dad's cynicism for the world, but Petey admits that while the world might sometimes be ugly. Petey and Lil Petey return home to find Grandpa driving away with all of Petey's inventions, leaving them with nothing. Lil Petey begins to share his dad's cynicism for the world, but Petey admits that while the world might sometimes be ugly, it isn't all bad with Lil Petey in it. The cats then walk to Dog Man's house, where Petey decides that Lil Petey can stay with Dog Man sometimes, which brings him joy and causes Dog Man to lick Petey in happiness. They are all joined by the Chief and Sarah, just as one last living building shows up, except it's a party building with neon lights, and everyone ends up dancing together. After a bomb injures Officer Knight and his beloved dog Greg, they are fused together to create Dog Man, a super cop that protects the city from crime. His nemesis is Petey, an evil genius cat who wants to defeat all do-gooders. After a lengthy rivalry, Petey decides that the way to defeat Dog Man is to create a clone of himself, but he ends up creating a kitty version of himself called Lil Petey. While Petey goes after Dog Man again, a fish named Flippy, who developed telekinesis and tried to destroy humans, has come back to life with a gas from the living spray factory, and since Petey previously programmed him to destroy do-gooders, Flippy uses the spray to bring other buildings to life. Dog Man and Petey put their rivalry aside when Flippy kidnaps Lil Petey since he is a super do-gooder. Petey makes his way into the robot that Lil Petey was helping to fight with to trick Flippy. Lil Petey uses his goodness to make Flippy change his ways, and Dog Man saves Petey before he is dropped into a volcano. Flippy surrenders, while Petey returns home with Lil Petey, only to find that Grandpa stole all of Petey's belongings. As a result, Petey decides to let Lil Petey stay with Dog Man sometimes since they both love Lil Petey. Dog Man celebrates with his new friends, along with the Chief and reporter Sarah Hadoff. And that's a wrap on today's review. Whether you loved the film or felt it missed the mark, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into cinema, and ring the bell so you never miss a review. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay curious, stay critical, and keep watching great films.